No! God, please, no! 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 No!
Don't have an ordinary Monday. Have a Burger Monday at Bradys. Stacked high with fresh Angus and fries, just $5.49 all day. Bradys Burger Mondays. Nobody outbeefs beefs. Never mess with another man's sandwich. Like Beef O'Brady's new prime rib sandwich. Pure indulgence on a French baguette. Or Beef's new pulled pork sandwich. Get $5 off at beefobradys.com.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to another session of Sports Talk 49, live and always exclusive here on NSPN, every streaming platform, podcast everywhere. Make sure to check me out, check out YouTube, and check out all the content if you want to talk sports, talk football, talk recent talks, talk NBA, basketball, boxing, all that. It's right here on Sports Talk 49. I'm your host, Blake Anthony. This is Sports Talk 49's overreaction show. Again, you see the name. Colts run away with home win. The Minshew and Taylor show. Bucks lose again. Most fans are like,
No! God! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
and then, are you surprised? I mean, it's like the same things that keep happening. Lackluster offense again. Defense just can't make critical stops when it needed to. It's not playing exceptionally bad. And like I said, if you have more production on your offense, which would lead less problems for your defense to have to deal with, turnovers, points off turnovers, and et cetera, et cetera. I mean, some people don't like it. Everyone wants to think that Baker Mayfield isn't a problem. And all I got to do say about that is
You can't handle the truth.
I mean, it is what it is. And then when I break down these stats again, and I'll keep posting film and stuff of things that can go better, things that went wrong, et cetera, like that, you can point out some on both sides in this game. The Colts came out very aggressive. You don't have much to lose. So when you do that, they come out really aggressive and go for it on fourth down plays and other things like that. Also, mind you, I'm going to have a good fan, a very football savvy and smart guy, and Sedor, come on and tell you about his experience being at that game in Indianapolis and tell you what the feel of the game was like, what was happening, what he saw. Sedor is a guy who played ball himself, college football and everything. So I would like to hear his perspective. We did not talk about it, so I'm interested to hear what he's got to say. But before I get into that, we'll just digress. The loss a little bit here. Bucks lose on the road, 20-27. Was down 10 points late in the game. Some critical mishaps that happened later in the game, much like a lot all year. Baker not making the right reads. I don't know. It's just like he focuses on one guy and then doesn't go through the rest of the progression. So there's plays, and what I mean by that, fans and people who are watching this, is that there's plays where it's not designed for you to hold the ball that long. That's why the route concepts aren't that long. The one in the red zone where they could have went up 7 instead of kicking 3. That play where he took a sack on, it was a two-way read. If Mike's not open on the corner route, you go underneath the guy one. It's bang, bang, not bang, hold, try to make chicken salad out of chicken, you know what? It's not that play. It's a methodical thing that you're supposed to do. And I just don't understand how he cannot understand this stuff, being the pedigree of football that he has in his background. That's the part I just can't understand. So I just don't have an answer. Kyle Trask came in and make a good 3, came in the game. Baker has a ankle injury. Bowles expects Baker to play. The thing I like about when I watch Trask is the trajectory of the ball he can throw. He threw a perfectly ball in the corner of the end zone. The guy when which was dropped. Trask has height and deliver the balls over the line of scrimmage. Baker has an excessive amount of problems of balls getting batted at the line of scrimmage. And I know you Baker lovers, there's drop passes too. So I mean, it's both ways, but there's more missed opportunities than drop passes. But some of those drop passes have hurt this team. Not taking that away at all. That's why I say the offense has a problem. Like, stop focusing so much on the defense. As a matter of fact, I got time today. So in 11 games, just a simple math. You do all the points on offense and you do all the points against on defense. You know how many points the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense is average? The league average is 22. They average 19 points a game. They average 19 points a game. That is below average the amount of points needed to be scored in an NFL football game today. Do you know how many the defense have? 19. That is below the average of points scored. So which tells me your defense isn't that big of an issue. Is it inopportunistic sometimes, but they're not giving the excessive amount of points. They're not giving up, well, they do give up some yards, but you're not giving up scores. Doesn't really matter. Last week, this Sunday was the first time a defense scored on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers off of a turnover. As many turnovers as offense has had, that's the first one. So again, is your defense that bad? I think the offense is that bad that you have nothing else to focus on is the defense. Because they were scoring 21 points or whatever, and then the Colts or whoever else scores 17 or 14, all you're doing is not focusing on that. Because you know your offense is that horrid. Your sole focus is on the defense having to do everything. So now all your anger and frustration is out on the defense when your offense is the one that's putting you in this predicament to begin with. 19 points a game. That is your average. Do the math yourself. Add all the numbers on offense, add all the numbers on defense, divided by 11. What do you get? That's your average. I mean, I kind of figured that anyway just by looking at the games because they struggle to score 20 points. And you got a first-round pick, Heisman-winning quarterback. And I don't know where, and everybody want to skew these numbers and put this up like, oh, he's got this amount of passing yards and interceptions. Bro, are you dumb? I said, you can throw up all them yards if you want to. If you're not making the throws that you want to make, that you need to make, it's costing you games. So as much as you're not taking risk or taking shots downfield, you're hurting the team not making the throws you need to make. Just because you're not making mistakes doesn't mean you're doing good. Now, if you're putting up yards and putting up points on the board, then we can have a different conversation. And then if you want to bring up the drops, Patrick Mahomes has 27 drops. The Kansas City Chiefs are still winning. Not comparing Baker Mayfield to Patrick Mahomes. I'm just saying they have the same problems, but they're still winning. So even with the drops, they make the throws that they need to make to win the game. Just saying. But it's common sense. Common sense is not that common. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you want to argue with people, so you just don't. You just think back to Ren and Stimpy and just go,
You are so stupid.
And just, it is what it is. But this is the overreaction show. We overreact here a little bit. And if you can't handle the truth, you just can't
handle the truth.
I mean, the numbers are right there. I'll show you some more videos again. I went above and beyond last week to post all those videos. Some people saw them like, oh, okay. I'm not making it up. I think the guy can get the job done. I just don't know why he's not doing it. Do you not understand the playbook? Do you not understand like the route concepts? Do you not understand? Didn't Canales tell y'all when he was coming to Tampa Bay that his offense was going to be predicated on getting the ball out the quarterback's hands? And what has Baker Mayfield not done? Get the ball out of his hands on time. Hence a sack. Hence a strip sack. hence whatever the case may be, him scrambling for his life. You're not getting rid of the ball when it's supposed to be getting rid of. Or finding the open guy. Now you're making the rest of the line look bad. I'll take it back to a quote when I interviewed Ben Jarvis Green Ellis when he was the Patriots. When he said playing with Tom Brady, you had to execute your job, which means if I don't run the right route, which means the quarterback's got to hold the ball, which makes the line have to block longer, which leads to a sack, which makes it look like it's my fault. Baker Mayfield falls into that. You don't get rid of the ball on time. You make your offensive line hold the blocks longer. You take a sack. You make everybody else look bad. It's a trickle-down process. That's why football is a team game. You have to do your job. Do your job. Let's see what Sedor have to say, because like I said, we didn't talk about it. I want to hear it so you can get an honest answer back from me. Let's hear from my boy, Sedor. Matter of fact, give him a round of applause. I got a round of applause up here. You know what? He'll get this.
Oh, yeah.
So let's do this. So where's me? Here we go.
Hey, Blake, thanks for having me, man. You asked me my thoughts on the game. Well, being at the stadium, it was not pretty. Even the Colts fans pretty much summed up how the Bucs fans were feeling. The first thing I'm going to say is Tristan Wirfs is hurt way more than they're letting on. I've never seen him so slow out of his stance. His footwork laterally looked very slow. He got ate up. 2 sacks, I believe he was given up. Blvd is another one who was non-existent during that game. He, too, seems to be more injured than they're letting on. Kalijah Kancey played well. Splashed really well during that game. So it only, I mean, you have Logan Hall getting reps from you and things like that. There's something going on. The other thing I would say is Baker Mayfield's not a pocket passer. He's way too short, doesn't see over the lineman well. Rolling out, he seems to be okay. But when he's in that pocket, I just don't think he can see the field well enough, especially knowing where the receivers are going and not finding those open receivers. It's kind of hard to believe that he's seeing everything. Having said that, they obviously don't have faith in Kyle Trask. You know, Baker was probably at 65, 70% at best Sunday after that injury, and there was no looking back to go to Trask. Last but not least, Todd Bowles still has not learned how to manage a game. His clock management is horrific. I don't know what he was doing. 3rd and 16, you got a completion to Mike Evans. No challenge? Come on. You have 3 timeouts going into the fourth quarter. You have 3 timeouts going into that last drive. You end the game with 2 timeouts in your pocket. You don't get to take them with you. Todd Bowles has to go, and I know lots of people like him, lots of people support him. Players seem to like him, players seem to support him, but you need that killer instinct, and he just doesn't seem to have it. Offensive-minded coach would be great. I would love to see the Bucs go out and get an aggressive coach like Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. If you don't believe me that he's aggressive, go look at the stats. Other than that, Blake, man, have a great day. Sorry it's so short. I'm at work, so take it easy. Go Bucs.
He said a lot of things I agree with. He says a lot of things I don't agree with. And that's the fun things of having conversations and debates. Thank you, Sedor, for your dropping that. And if you guys got other fans or people, you guys got things you want to drop and talk about it, absolutely. We don't have to agree. I don't hate you when we have disagreements on social media like that. No, don't even think that. It's just a disagreement. I base my theories and thoughts off of me of being a former player, studying this game the way I do, coaching this game. So I tend to like to know I know what I'm talking about, especially when I do research. I don't base my research off of somebody else typing it took him 5 seconds to type an educated post on there. Then everybody believes what he says and comments on it. No, I actually look at it. Worse may be injured. Yeah, that was uncharacteristic. Or the dude just, it's just not nice. Sometimes that was it. That guy's day. It happens. It happens. You're an athlete. Sometimes you get matched up with guys who are just having a better day than you. Blvd, I wouldn't say non-existent. I do have some clips of him doing Quentin Nelson pretty dirty in that game. But he was allowing Cansey to get one-on-ones. He was allowing other guys to get one-on-ones to make plays. And that's what you do as a collective unit on the defensive line. You got to help each other out. You got to, when you get more attention your way, the other guys got to eat. That's how the unit on the defensive front. Now, if you want to say somebody that disappears, it's Shaq Barrett. That's a guy that disappeared is making an exorbitant amount of money. But that's a whole nother conversation. Don't really want to talk about it because there's recent issues that I'm not going to bring up. I said, but that's a problem. Joe Tryon, has been who he is. And Yaya Diaby is getting much more playing time. So, I mean, that's where you're at with defensive line. I said at the beginning of the year, I said if Vita Vea goes down, that defensive line is done because you have nothing behind him. You got to keep building the front. Todd Bowles and the time management. No, we'll talk about that last. But Baker Mayfield, Ben said that he either can't see over the line, doesn't know the plays on the offense, doesn't know where the receivers are, or doesn't trust his arm because he. When you want to throw the ball to Mike Evans, do it when it's one-on-one with a small corner. Just give him a chance to catch it. Don't throw it 3 yards out of bounds where he can't do nothing with it. Give him a chance to catch it. If you see the defensive back is in front of him and is holding the coverage in front of him, throw the ball at Mike or behind Mike so he can jump up and make the catch. You should know these things. 6-year quarterback, first overall draft pick, Heisman Trophy winning quarterback should know these things. The end routes, he misses those. Again, like I said, Sedor, I think, is bringing it up best. I don't think he can see it. That's a problem. That is a Baker problem. That is not offensive coordinator problem. That's a Baker problem. The other thing I agree with, he's like, you're going to have to do rollouts with him. Well, why don't they do it? They do it. You can't do it every down. I said they'll start sending pressure off the right side because he's right-handed. So they'll send pressure off that side, forcing you either A, stay in the pocket, or B, go left. What he doesn't want to do. You don't want to go left in a right-hand quarterback. And sometimes his arm strength is questionable. I think it's just footwork, not setting your feet and delivering a good ball. Because sometimes a lot of his passes are just so underthrown with wide receivers open. Yeah, I don't know what's the deal. I think they're just waiting to see because I think Bowles is at the point where you're still in a playoff race, the playoff contingency to put in the backup quarterback to only have it backfire in your face. It's for everybody. The Monday morning quarterbacks, and Tampa Bay is full of them. This market, you take Baker out to put Trask in, you guys lose out, don't make the playoffs. Then this will come back up later that, well, you were one game back in first place. Why didn't you leave Kyle? Why didn't you leave Baker Mayfield in if he was still able to? So he's at that pivotal point right now where everybody's got a Monday morning quarterback and they know everything. That's the point you're at right now. Get rid of Bowles? I don't think so. Time management or whatever. Yeah, I think he should have challenged that. You had all the timeouts. But you got to remember, like I said, when people say these things, you got to remember what kind of offense you got here. One, you were going to need those timeouts later in the game. You knew you were going to need it at some point. Yeah, you probably should have challenged that one because Mike did catch it and get his arm under there. But if you don't, you lose it. And you might need that later on in the game that somebody comes back and plays Monday morning quarterback. Well, why did you challenge it? Like I said, it's lose-lose situation. But these that scenarios and other ones why. But Todd is a guy, I know he's going to make adjustments. He's going to do his thing. He's been doing that with defense, just like I pointed out earlier. Say what you want to say. This defense gives up under the below average amount of points per game as the league scores, right along with the offense. Bringing in a new coach, I just don't think that's the answer. You have to build continuity with this team. You didn't have it bringing in a journeyman quarterback. You ran in a new offensive coordinator, new offensive line, cap strapped. Your defense is still playing well. They almost have 20 turnovers in this season with this bad offense. You didn't know that, right? They have almost 20 takeaways in 11 games, but they're bad. They're bad. Your offense just isn't scoring points. That's the problem. I ain't gonna just say it's Baker, but he's part of it. The run game, he had 100-yard rushing. He catches the ball out the backfield. So that area is progressing. The only place that's not progressing is finding the open receiver. That's the only thing that's been the same the entire season. You Baker lovers can do that, say whatever you want. You can use the drop balls. 17 games, 11. So, like I said, it's just a little over one drop pass a game. If you want to do the math on it, I don't know what it is exactly. If you want to just do the math, but I'm sure there's been more than one drop in one game. That's why the numbers like that. But whatever, he's had opportunities to move this offense to score points, whether his legs, whether with his arm. I would hopefully do his arm because you got 2 Pro Bowl receivers. Cade Otton showing up well. Purnham with a big catch. It was almost a bad play. It was almost an interception. Just the tight end went up and made a great play. Yeah, that's pretty much what I got for that, for the overreaction. Again, I'll say it again. You don't score more than 20 points, you will not beat the Carolina Panthers. You will always leave them in this game, giving them a chance to come back. They're going to have a new coach in there. They're going to come fired up and ready. They feel like they got a chance to win, just like Tampa fans think they have a chance to win. Just got to go out and do it. Don't shoot yourselves in the foot. Take advantage of your opportunities given to you. That's all you got to do. Those are the little things that you got to do in this game. And you just got to have consistent play out of your quarterback. A 6-year quarterback, first overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner. You just expect better out of him. Tristan Wirfs may be banged up. Still, if it's a play designed for you to get rid of the ball early and you're holding it, then you make your offensive line look bad. I'm just saying. It's there. Tape's there. Women lie, men lie. Numbers and tape don't lie because it's right there. And you can spin whatever objective you want to spin. You can spin whatever you want to. Those with some type of education to the game see what's real and they see what's fake. And we'll end this as we always do. We'll appreciate you guys watching, whatever. I know if I didn't ruffle any 2 feathers or nothing. That's why I try to educate you guys on the game with film and things like that. What you're looking at, you're like, oh, yeah. And just don't make outlandish things that and just making people believe things that aren't there. I just want our fan base to be more educated to the game, understand the game better, know what the real issues are, know what's not. Granted, everybody's not going to agree. And y'all people got to get a grip. If somebody don't agree with you, you don't have to go and berate them with insults and things like that. Like, grow up. People have a different matters of opinion. You're allowed to have that. This is the world y'all wanted. Everybody have an opinion about everything. You got to respect it or just don't talk to them. It's really that simple. Especially somebody you know has an educated opinion about the topic, who has insight on the topic. I don't know how many players I got to bring on here for y'all and talk about stuff that they won't talk about on television. I don't know how many times I got to do it. Obviously, I know something that most don't know or know and won't say because you work for somebody and you're strapped, you're shackled to spin a narrative. I ain't got to spin no narrative. That back there has got my name on it. I ain't got to spin nothing. So what I tell you is not script written. And if I don't know something, I'll tell you all the time I don't know something, and I'll tell you I'm wrong. I'll still tell you again, I was so wrong about Luke Gedeke. Thank God you moved from guard to tackle. Because that's something else that gets underplayed. Cody Mock, all these guys showing up. It ain't the best, but it's definitely not the worst. Well, and it says we always do. You're the master of everything, but you do with your life. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you guys. God bless. And as always, fire those cannons. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you again, me Sedor, as well. See you.